What is going on, guys? Brian with the Dirt and Snow YouTube channel, and I'm coming at you with some controversy right here. I'm going to tell you the 4 modifications that I think you should pass on your truck. Just make sure you're taking my opinions with a grain of salt, because after all, it is your truck, it is your style, and I am not volunteering to pay your bills, so you build it exactly how you want. But here's some things to consider. Of course, I try to keep this channel very positive, and I very much think that there is a spot in the industry for every single kind of build, every single kind of truck that you could ever want to build, all the way from the giant SEMA trucks, the pavement princesses that are never going to see dirt, all the way to kind of more purpose-built styles like mine, lowered trucks. It's all awesome. I love this industry and how many different styles there are, but let's get started. So let's just start off heavy with the wheels. I feel really bad being negative about the wheels side of things, because this is where your style a lot of times really shines, and really where you can kind of make your vehicle stand out from the rest of them. So the first kind of wheel that I think that you should pass on is the Rockstars. Now, these were an awesome wheel, kind of groundbreaking for their time. They had little pieces that you could swap out for different colors. You could paint individual pieces and really just set off your style. But the problem is these really have not aged well, and a lot of the trucks that I still see with these Rockstars, I think they had like 4 generations of them, Rockstar 1, 2, 3, and 4. A lot of these trucks just look like the kind of peaked in 2010, the cool points peaked in 2010. Honestly, there's just been a lot of really cool innovations in the wheel industry ever since then. So by going with such an old wheel, such an old style, you're kind of not doing justice to a lot of the late model vehicles that are out there, the cool looks that they've done on those. The second modification is also a second set of wheels that you might want to consider or reconsider on your build, is the Fuel Assaults. Now, when I first saw these, I kind of fell in love. They're a very simple wheel. They're a concave. They just do it. They've got the right accents in the right places. They're not big lipped wheels. They're not big bro locks, kind of like I've got on my truck. You know how the forums talk about the bro lock wheels and all that stuff. But yeah, you kind of look at these wheels and you're like, okay, that's it. That's the style. It's just so simple. But the issue there is you're not alone. Everybody loves these wheels. So the more and more that you look around at trucks that have been modified, the more you're really going to notice that everybody has these wheels, or at least kind of a form of these wheels. You lose a ton of uniqueness to your build by putting these on. So honestly, the best option is to really, by knowing that you love these wheels, you can really set a off-road shop in the right direction. You go in there and just say, hey, I want a really cool concave style wheel, really simple, that is not the Fuel Assault. And they should be able to turn you in the right direction. Even call up Custom Offsets and say, hey, the Fuel Assaults are awesome. I just see them everywhere. What's kind of a comparable wheel that'll still allow some uniqueness for my truck? There are a few other wheels that kind of take away that uniqueness. However, I believe that the Fuel Assault is the worst offender of that. I don't blame Fuel. I think that they made a wheel that just looks too good, that everybody loves. And how is that their problem? That second modification you should not be doing to your truck is inadequate leveling and lift kits. Look, I get it. You're in a hurry to get this thing stanced out, turned into your truck instead of just some other truck driving down the road, but skipping on the lift kit's really not a good way to go. With these 3/4 and 1 tons, these solid axles, I would absolutely make sure that you get a kit that comes with a new spring. Make sure that it's adequate for exactly the kind of driving you're doing. On the 1/2 tons, if you're doing a leveling kit, I would absolutely say go with something that is the full strut, not just a spacer. There's a lot of inadequate leveling kits that don't come with upper control arms or anything like that. And basically all you're doing is making the truck sit a little bit higher underneath its weight, so you lose the down travel with that. And down travel is extremely important for how these suspension systems work. You're thinking of the back end of the speed bump. You're thinking of when the suspension flexes up, how far can it flex down before you get that clunk? Is it deflecting off of the front end of the speed bump, or is it absorbing that and tracking with the road as you go to the back side? Make sure that you're keeping all of those in mind when you are leveling or lifting your truck, getting it stanced out correctly the way that you want it to be. Don't skip on the lift kit. These trucks are expensive, and by the same token, make sure you're putting the best parts on there. And the third modification I would not recommend doing is putting LED light bulbs in a halogen fixture. These are specifically designed to throw your light pattern in a certain way, and the problem with LEDs is, number one, a lot of people run too cold of a temperature on those, make them look a little bit more blue than kind of the yellowish, orangish of the halogens, which can really blow out fog. I did go with some LED fog lights that are yellow or the amber color, just to make sure that I wasn't completely blowing out the fog. That's super popular over in Europe and Japan and places like that. However, the other problem with the LED bulbs is they really don't create hot spots in your field of vision. And hot spots are basically like when you turn on your truck and you see the lights reflecting against, say, your garage door or something like that. You see areas where it's a lot lighter, and then everything else around it is lit up pretty well. And those are extremely important, kind of helping our eyes focus on where we're going and what obstacles might be ahead. But if you are going the LED route in your halogen fixtures, then do your research, make sure you're going with a nicer product if you do like that look. Otherwise, there's some great fixtures out there that can convert your truck over to an LED bulb with daytime running lights and things like that. I think Alpharex is a pretty solid company that you can get in for, I mean, they start at about $650. And then of course, Morimoto is the super high-end stuff. A lot of guys are making full fixtures with LED halos and things like that. The problem with those is they don't really stay sealed very well. It's very hard to keep condensation from getting into those. So I would say usually steer clear of those. Go with something that does have a warranty. But I would personally opt not to go with the LED bulbs. All right, guys, this is Brian with the Dirt and Snow channel. Hopefully some of those help you in shopping for your vehicle, help you kind of steer clear of a couple of things that perhaps are too popular or even might not work very well with your vehicle. Again, I'm not volunteering to pay any of your bills, so please don't take this as the law for how to customize your truck. These are only my opinions, but please give this video a thumbs up. Give me a subscribe, and I look forward to bringing you more videos in the future.